Welcome back to Building My Dream Shop, You're Fired Part 2 video. I wanted to give you guys an update and address a couple things that I got a lot of questions on, and it would just be a lot easier to do a video about the truss issue and explain exactly what happened, how I dealt with that, and how I'm going to proceed forward with addressing the truss issue in this video. Secondly, I wanted to say thank you guys because I truly put that video out for advice, for professional advice, and get everybody's opinions on the building in my area, which is North Georgia. We hardly have any snow load at all, but we do not have a lot of these residential metal square tube type buildings around. I don't know anybody personally who has one. I don't know of locally driving distance where there is one. I could have gone knocked on the door and looked at it. The majority of the metal buildings in my area are commercial. They're red iron, big steel, heavy manufactured buildings, completely different. So I was kind of like, went out on a limb with this building. I priced out everybody who serviced my area. It was probably about 5 companies. I got those prices. They all came in pretty much the same. The company I chose was horrible. If I could go back, I would change it. I would do more research. I just was definitely naive in this industry of metal buildings. But you guys stay tuned. I'm going to do a quick walk around of the building and give you guys kind of like a 4 to 5 month update on what I think of it now. I'm going to address the truss issue, and then I'll go over a little bit of the cost and ask you guys your opinion again on which direction I should go with the trusses, because I kind of got 2 options I've been thinking about. So you guys stay tuned and check out this new video. Hope you guys enjoy. The number one issue with the video, no, I'm just kidding. I corrected the spelling on your. I'm sorry, guys. There was several comments that, really was hitting on my spelling, and I apologize for that. I've always been a horrible speller. And grammar, pronunciation, whatever, everything, yeah, I'm not good at that. That's why I've kind of stuck with mechanics and working with my hands over the years. So for those of you that really bothered, I apologize. For this video is fixed. There's your spelling. So the second issue, really the main issue, and all the questions everybody had, was the trusses. They did not fix the trusses. They are still the way they are. Yes, they were not the correct trusses per the plans, but we did make an agreement. That was my choice. The supplier, or the erector, he offered to take them down and replace them, but I ended up choosing the discount. And let me tell you why. The supplier also brought a 2.5-inch square tube and supplied the material to weld up in these trusses to double them up. That way they'll be double supported trusses for the weight. And in lieu of that, he gave me a pretty substantial discount on the building. So it was right around $1,500 discount he gave me. I know a lot of you guys are thinking, oh, that's crazy, but let me tell you the main reason why, in my mind, why I chose that. One of the main reasons why is because they already attached the roofing material to these trusses and the cross braces, as you see above me right here. So they weren't offering to replace that, and that was a fight, and I could see their point. I could see it both ways. They're like, we'll replace the trusses, we're going to pull the panels off, we'll replace them, put them back on. And I was like, well, at first that's what I wanted. Then I started thinking, and I started talking, and I've worked a little bit in the metal industry back in my day, and I knew if all those guys were up there working on top of this building, unscrewing all these holes, throwing this galvalume panel, roof panel on the ground, and then putting it back up, there was no way in heck that it would have lined back up and went back up there straight and not have looked worse than from when they started. So that was a big factor in my decision, and that is why I chose the truss material to weld them myself, the discount, and to leave the galvalume panels on the roof alone. They were already screwed down, already attached. And I just knew if they took all those things off and threw them on the ground the way they would, put them back on, it would leak like crazy. They would have to go back in the same holes, and it would be almost impossible to line those damn panels up exactly the way they had them lined up before. That was my thinking. I don't know. What do you guys think? So that being said, my options for the trusses, I am going to weld these things up, as you can see above me. Let me show you guys what I got and what I'm talking about. All right, so the material I got is pretty much this square tube right here, and I have enough of it to double up on each side of the bottom cross brace on the truss is to weld up a double tube. So I have this material right here. Here's my options, what I was thinking about doing, and you guys let me know which option would be best. So I have a MIG welder. I've been welding since I was like 10, so the welding issue is no problem. And what I was thinking about doing is taking that square tube, so meeting right there with the square tube, pretty much doubling it up, bringing it all the way down, double stacking it. I'll unbolt this cross brace right here and taking it pretty much from this wall support, that vertical wall support. I will take that square tube, cut it to length, run it on the bottom of this tube all the way up to right there. I will use a floor jack or a bottle jack, whatever works. I will jack it up to kind of take that little bit of deflection out of the roof and then MIG weld it up, you know. I'll just do a stitch weld all the way down there. Now, that is the number one option, and that is what I was thinking of when I got the material. The number two option I was thinking is using the material and actually just welding in the 14 to 16 foot piece as a second lower truss right below it, from right here, welding it up all the way to right there, and having just a second lower truss in there, and then welding in a vertical support piece here, and then maybe one there. Kind of making the truss like a traditional truss design. Now that is option number two. You guys tell me what you think. A couple of the engineers that have commented below, what's your idea? I've heard a lot of the 1/3 factor. I don't really know exactly if that's like 1/3 up top or the truss has to be like braced 1/3 down. I'm not really sure. Truss design and like that whole weight thing is kind of new to me. So would it be better to double up the 2x right here on every single truss and just weld in a second one from the end of the cross brace to the wall, or take a longer piece and weld a second lower cross brace in on the truss from there to there, and then weld center sections in? Those are pretty much the truss options, what I plan on doing and what happened with the whole truss issue. I hope this video helps and that answers everybody's questions. With all that being said and addressed, again, thank you guys. The input and information has been overwhelming, and I've learned so much already just from everybody chipping in and leaving the comments. That being said, as you can see, the shop is kind of coming along. We're pretty much moved into the house now. So I have like one corner left of house stuff I got to go through this week. And then, as you can see, I got the toolboxes set up already. We're going to start doing some hard shelving in here the next couple of videos for car part storage, and hopefully get a car lift coming in soon. Maybe the week after next. My plan is to get this shop wired up, so I'm going to bring in my 100 amp drop wire from the house into the shop, hook up my sub panel, wire all the lights up, get everything going in that direction. That is the shop update and the tour. So far everything has been good with the exterior. Nothing has like bowed or buckled, or there's nothing I've seen where I've been like, oh man, that's just still horrible. The only thing was the truss issue, you know, and from what we just talked about, we're going to address that hopefully in a couple weeks once I get power in, obviously, to hook the welder up. So nothing else that I've really seen on the exterior that has happened. You know, I definitely wish we would have had a smoother run, a smoother go at it, but yeah, I'm still happy with the building. And a lot of the truss issue, and a lot of you guys were talking about and worried about snow load. You know, luckily in my area, snow load is like almost non-existent. If it is, it's like a half an inch or an inch max for like 2 hours until the sun comes up, then it's gone. It's more of a frosting on the roofs. So I'm not too worried about snow load, but in a couple weeks, you know, with some of you guys' advice, hopefully we'll get these truss issues fixed and addressed. I hope that was some good information on the trusses, and it gave everybody an update on what was going on. It was just that question was overwhelming. I just wanted to address that for you guys. Those are my plans, and that's what we're going to be doing in a couple weeks, along with the power and everything else. And so far, I'm really loving the shop, and we are just about to get going with it, and so it's getting excited. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and as always, please give a thumbs up, like, and subscribe to the channel, and we will see you guys next week on Building a Dream Shop.